Hi guys, welcome back to the Heel Project. We are back with our No, it's not Wrestling Wednesdays. Wrestling Wednesdays is what we've decided on. Yay!
Yeah, we know how to speak English.
Link is relieved. We had SummerSlam last night, so we are recording this on the Sunday, and like I promised, that the predictions was going to come out for what we had. Sorry, what we are predicting is going to happen in the next year. So between SummerSlam just gone last night, SummerSlam next year. Some predictions. So we're having 3 each. Then we'll do some couple of honourables like we did last time. And if you haven't seen the video, it's there. That was the original video. So if you want to see last year's, it's there. If there's a way for me to put 2, I'll put the reaction one there as well. No, sound good? Cool. Shall I start then, boys, with the very, very first one?
Before you start,
no. Could you please leave a like, share, and subscribe down there whilst we're waiting?
Yeah, do that. And tell us what your predictions are for me. Did you guys find it much harder this year?
No.
No. What, me?
Really?
Pete?
Pete.
No.
Pete had
I
essays.
found it way harder this year. So,
Pete had essays last year, remember?
I found it so much easier this year.
so for last year for me, I found it so much easier because obviously we just had that big changeover with Triple H taking over and everything, and
it was easier to dream, I suppose.
There was there was kind of a shift in the business, whereas now everything's kind of like plateaued again.
I know what you're saying.
As such, and I just found it much more difficult to go, oh, this is a crazy thing that it was just like. Yeah, I struggled this year. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, luckily I did mine 4 weeks ago, and 2 or 3 of them at least, out of all of my predictions, involves last night's show, and luckily they can all still come true with me actually having a prediction. So I'm going to start off. We had Finn Balor losing his world title. Not losing his world title, losing his match for the world title shot. But I've actually got that Finn Balor will actually get a world title run in the next year. That is my
I hope so.
After losing that match, it'll be a bit of a shock. But...
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't do it beforehand because it was a bit like I thought maybe we were going to do it before SummerSlam. And then it was like, well, I'm not going to use that one because it's probably a bit too obvious. And now it's like, well, it's not obvious, but I can still see it happening. So it's going to be it makes it harder because from where it finished on Sunday. Obviously, we'd have had Raw by now, so whether anything happened on Raw, we won't know. Yeah, so that is the one decider that might make mine maybe a little bit of a cop out.
Well, we've got a whole year, so
yeah. But yeah, I'm saying a world title run. That's not a tag, not a minor title either. Are we
So just because we are over a year. Are we talking just the World Heavyweight title, or are we talking either the World Heavyweight title or the WWE Universal title?
I was saying both, really.
Okay.
Because that
I just wanted to clarify that on
the world
this video
titles,
so that we know.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The big boy titles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, last year we did it we gave ourselves a little score out of 5, I think it was. What are your boys' likelihood of that happening?
I'm going to give it a 4. Like I really
want it to be a 5, but you
I want
say
it to be a 5. Yeah.
Fair enough.
You've got it.
I reckon. I want it to happen. I reckon I'm going to give it a 2. I don't see them. I can't see them giving him another title push. I think that's it. It's took him that long to get this one. I reckon that was his moment. That was his moment, and I reckon it'll be him. No.
That's hard.
I just don't think. I think they've dropped the ball with him a lot. But I don't think they'll give him that title push now.
Well, I think as you've just given us a 2, and I've got a slightly blurry camera, I think you should go next, Pete, because 2 I think is
I need to redeem myself after
savage.
last time.
You do. This is going to be very basic. We've been joking about it. It's going to be so basic.
No, this one isn't too basic.
All right, go on then.
Something got announced on Friday night.
Oh, I missed Friday night, didn't I?
August the 18th in Toronto. Edge is going to be coming out for the 25-year anniversary of Edge. I think this is where he builds up to something like maybe with Grayson Waller again, because he gave him that that rub when they had their match. I think they're going to have Edge's retirement match at Mania.
Oh, hang on. So specifically at Mania.
Edge will retire at Mania, but it will be announced, or the build of it will start in Toronto.
Oh,
18
a man that has become slightly like hand in hand with the Royal Rumble. Are you sure?
I think they will
retire at Rumble.
No, I think he'll get his last big push at Mania. Say goodbye, but it will be
specific again.
It will start at Toronto. It was either going to be if he's done but if he's done more recently, he would have retired at Toronto. That was what I originally called.
You did, but then
I think it's not worked. So it'll go to Mania. He'll get his big farewell there, but that's where it will start.
Right, yeah, okay. Well, I would actually because that's kind of actually in one of my honourables. Funnily enough,
the thing was they've actually bigged it up to be Edge will be there for the 25th anniversary in Canada.
So because it's in my honourables, I'm going to give it a 4. A 4. Because I have to. If I'm semi-making
he said specifically at Mania. Can't be any other time. Has to be at Mania.
I think he will be.
I'll be honest. If it's out of any pay-per-view, it's most likely gonna be a Mania. To be fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, ruling out another pay-per-view is a bit bold.
I think it'll be Mania. Big one. Say goodbye.
Sorry, Pete. I'm giving you 0, mate.
0.
It's not happening.
That's a 1.
I don't even see Edge retiring.
He will. He will. The 25th anniversary.
I mean, technically that's next year anyway, but I don't see him retiring this year. Or within the next year.
It's just as bold.
Yeah, I don't see it, mate. At all.
So as you're being bold, you can do your prediction here. Look at that. It's gone like full circle, bold.
So I've got, obviously I've got a list of 5 to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at them. I think that within the next year, we are going to have a breakup and complete dissolution of the Judgment Day.
Not completely gone. Not even
completely gone.
Not even like 1 or 2 of them left, and they're calling it Judgment Day still.
No. They may keep Dominic and Rhea together still. Yeah. But it won't be Judgment Day anymore.
Okay.
It'll just be Dom and Rhea.
But so if that's counting, we're saying that they just wouldn't use the name anymore then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Do you know what? That's a whole year from now. You got a Mania to tidy it up with. Yeah, I'd probably give that one a 4 as well. I don't think I'd go as far as a 5 because I don't. Yeah, it's not quite that certainty. But yeah, I'd give it a 4. I'd give that one a 4.
Yeah, I'd go a 4 for that. I think they're building to the end of this now.
Yeah, if you take based off of last night.
If you take Finn or that, well, I said I've said in our predictions video, the other video, the podcast. I don't want Finn to be booted out and replaced. They've done the same thing with Edge so recently, and it don't really make sense for Priest to go over. That's the one out of the 2 I prefer, but neither of them make sense. So I see Judgment Day finishing.
I'm not going to lie either. It's quite a bold one because they are very high on Judgment Day at the moment. Like they're being pushed everywhere right now. But
I really think they will break it before it gets boring.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm banking on with that. But...
Yeah,
we'll have to see, won't we? Yeah, no, I think that's a solid 4, mate. Solid 4 from both me and Pete there. So, should we go back second round? Do you want to start this one, Link, and we'll go back the other way?
God,
he's now got to choose which one.
Because then
I'm gonna go with an easy one, and this it's an easy one for me. I'm gonna score top marks on this. I think Gunther's breaking Honky Tonk's record.
How far off is he?
31 days.
I feel like that's a cop out.
It is a bit, but it's an easy one.
Can I take that? Can I take that? Or can I take that one and expand?
Sorry, Pete. I've just stolen one of yours.
Yeah, can I take that one and expand it a little bit further?
If you've
not make it a cop out.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I'm the decider on that. Yeah, so Link. Hang on, Link. You're gonna get a 5 because it's a cop out. So well done. Comments. Crucify Link. Tell him he's a cop out. Pete, I'm assuming you're saying it's a 5.
Yeah, definitely a 5. Definitely a 5.
Your next prediction then, Pete.
This bit puzzled me.
Well done,
We've got Payback September the 2nd.
Yeah.
They're now advertising for Superstar Spectacle, another special. I know it's the Indian like the house show. It's 6 days later.
Well, after he breaks the record.
No, it's 6 days after Payback.
All right, okay.
Yeah,
It's a house show.
But it's 2 days after Honky Tonk's record gets broken.
No, you're not.
You're right.
Don't say what you're going to say. Don't say what you're going to say, Pete.
No,
Say it, go on, Pete.
I think at Payback, he's gonna win. So he's gonna have that record. I reckon the Superstar Spectacle the Monday after Superstar Spectacle on Raw.
Yeah.
You're gonna have Gunther get called out. Or SmackDown, sorry. After that, after he's got the record, he'll come out and say that he's basically beaten everyone there is to beat. No one can beat him.
Then the modern day Maharaja's coming out.
No. And then you'll have the last person to beat him, Bron Breakker, come out and challenge him for the IC title.
Oh, I thought we were on about doing it in India. I thought that's what we were saying for a second there, Pete.
I thought that's where that was going.
I thought we were going to say we were going to have Ginger.
Why are we even talking about the Superstar Spectacle?
Because I was tempted to have that at a match at Superstar Spectacle.
Mate,
For the IC title, you're not going to have a world title match.
Based on when it is, they'll be lucky if they get a single championship tied up there.
No, I reckon that might be a main event. Not having a world title, but the IC title.
I think that's why Dominic Mysterio's got the North American. He's going to turn up the North American Championship and have a match there.
I think the IC title's headline it might be a good match.
I agree.
Link, did you think he was going to...
I agreed that Gunther's going to go there and defend his title. I don't think he's losing it to Bron Breakker at that pay-per-view, which is what your prediction is. So, I mean...
Is that what you're saying, Pete, yeah? You're saying...
Go on, I'll go with it at a pay-per-view. I don't know why, but I'm going to go with it at a pay-per-view.
So, Pete said he's not going to do what he did last year, and he's done exactly what he did last year.
The rest of
it's going to be Bron Breakker at Superstar Spectacle in India.
Yeah, we'll go with it. That'll be the main event.
So the main event, and it's not going to be Jinder Mahal.
Right. No, okay. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this now to you, Pete. If that happens,
one word: Mansoor in Saudi. That's not one word.
No. If that happens, you win this year's.
Yeah.
Stop.
I'm okay.
I don't even care about any of the others.
It's over.
If that happens, you've won this whole year.
Cool. Absolutely.
I was actually going to do the pay-per-view after the Raw or SmackDown after, but as the pay-per-view is literally 6 days apart, and he would have had that record by 2 days, it was like, use it.
I'll give it a 1 because Gunther and Bron Breakker exist.
Even lower than mine.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Bron Breakker was the last man. I really wanted. Do you know? Ideally, I'd have Dragunov say he's the last man to beat him.
If you said Ginger, I'd have given you a 2.
No,
record.
Is Superstar Spectacle even going to be a live one, or is it going to be one of these pre-recorded ones that they just show on that?
It is down on. You know, if you actually look at the pay-per-view schedule, it's Superstar Spectacle is on as the pay-per-view. Schedule.
But they've done it before where they've recorded it over there like a week or so beforehand and then just
aired it at American time
on that date. Yeah.
No, it looks like it is going to be on that date.
Well, we'll see, but I don't see it happening, Pete. I'm sorry.
We'll see.
One thing I do see happen. See, nice segue. Based on last night, I'm quite pleased with this one because I predicted this 4 weeks ago. But Seth Rollins will hold his championship for 200 plus days. So that'll be the 17th of December he's got to hold it till. There you go. 200 plus.
Over 4 months, basically.
Yeah. For him to get to 200 days. That's what I'm predicting. Which is quite funny. I predicted that 4 weeks ago. I was like, yes! He's got that. Brilliant. So Finn and Seth, that match went perfectly for my predictions last night. What we rate in that one? I got a bit more of a rogue one in the next one, but what we rate in that one?
I'll give it a 3.
3?
I think it all depends a lot with this Bloodline storyline because I can see all the challengers going towards Seth, challenging Seth.
I see, because they can't. Yeah, okay.
And they won't be affecting that belt.
Because that would mean that he would get through Payback, Fastlane, and Survivor Series, by the way.
Yeah. he'll be getting more challenges to the Bloodline unless they stop the Bloodline storyline soon.
It is essentially
I
only,
mean-
only at most three title matches, title defenses.
But
That
he's been
means
advocate for having matches on SmackDown on Raw as well, hasn't he? Though?
He has been.
He
He
has.
needs to go through Survivor Series, and I think at the moment, Cody's probably taking for the Survivor Series.
You reckon it's Survivor Series? I'm not
So-
sure. So yeah, I'm sticking with it. 200 days.
I'll go for a 3 just because I don't know what's happening.
I'm
yet.
gonna give you a 2 again, and I feel like I gave Pete too high a mark on his last one.
Well, as it's the third round, shall I go first again?
Yes. Actually, no. Let Pete go first.
All right, Pete can go first on this one, and then, yeah, don't matter which way around really.
What do I do? I'm gonna go for someone. I think going from when he loses the IC title, you're gonna see him with Imperium for a bit. Then have tag runs and bits and pieces. But I think you'll see him get a singles push again when he wins the Rumble. I think he had a really good showing this year.
You're
And
saying,
I think Gunther's gonna win the Rumble next year.
wow,
That is a prediction.
it's bold and it's probably better than his last one.
It is.
But
It's definitely better.
That's well swear, Pete. I'll give you a 4. I'm genuinely going to give you a 4 because he is going to be one of the favourites.
He had a really good showing this
He
year,
is
and I
going to be
think
one
they're
of the
pushing him
favourites
that.
if he's in that match. So
Is he going to fall into the Kane role through Rumbles, where he's very, very good, always does well, but never quite?
No, I think they'll stop that with the record title hold, the IC record title run. That's the elevation that you're going to push him up now.
Yeah. Plus, I suppose they did have, Nakamura on it as well.
And they did have him from
So they
they had him from number 1 till right to the end this time against.
Oh
Cody.
yeah. He was the Iron Man. So
Yeah.
Go on. I think I'll give you a 4 as well.
Yeah.
Which I think maybe too high, but
but I say he's going to be one of the
reasonable.
favourites, mate. He's
Yeah,
going to be one of the
massively.
top
He
sort of
is.
5,
Yeah,
6
yeah.
favourites for the
oh,
Rumble.
he'll be top 4. He'll be final 4 regardless. Like
Assuming he's in it, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's a long way.
you never
away.
know. He might be world champion by that point. Who fucking knows?
yeah, he might be dead.
Anyway, somebody that people keep thinking is dead because he's injured so much recently. My segue. I've predicted that Tommaso Ciampa, there we go, bringing him back from last year, and
There we go again.
Johnny Gargano will get a tag team title shot this year.
Please.
Oh,
Please.
DIY.
I'm giving it 5.
Title shot. In the
I'm
next
giving
year.
it 5.
A
5. I want it to
DIY
happen.
They are both fit and back. A DIY title shot in the next year.
That would.
So a title shot or just
Title shot.
I mean, I'd have just
The
gone
fact
for you,
that we're
but
bringing
title
back
shot,
DIY at all.
No, a title run. Yeah.
No, not a
I'll
title
give it
run.
shot.
Not a title run. Title
Just
shot.
a shot.
Yeah.
I'm 5.
Yeah,
I
100%.
say
Yeah.
we've still got to bring back DIY.
This is the perfect way to make 2 wrestlers, I hate to say this, who aren't relevant at the minute, to make them 2 of the most relevant wrestlers in the
Yeah.
business.
Yeah. No, 5.
And the tag
Yeah.
team division needs it. It needs.
Yep.
In fact, I've got another honourable. I've got an honourable, which is tags, but for the women. So we'll talk about that one once you've done your final one, Link. Thank you for the 5s, by the way, boys. I appreciate that.
Is that it?
I've got 3 to go through here.
Link's got his last one now. He's just deciding.
It's difficult. I don't want to cop out.
You copped out a little bit on the first one, so
I did. And second one, I copped out.
that was the second one, was it?
I'm going to go for that. I don't think it's a cop out because it's still quite a
There's
stretch.
a chance it might not happen. Yeah, okay.
I think the Rock's coming. I think we're getting the Rock. And I know we've been, it's been in and out. And all the
After
rest of
how
it,
I
think
finished
we're
that
getting
last
The Rock.
podcast.
I think it's going to happen, mate. I've thought it's going to happen for a long time, and I still think it's going to happen. That is my final answer.
Okay. A 3, but I just wish people would stop bringing, because he's still The Rock, and he's still like one of the biggest names in the world, let alone in Hollywood. He's one of the biggest names in the world. Getting hold of that man and being able to pin him down for something is not easy. and if it's only going to happen if The Rock wants to do it. Like,
That's fair.
it's all on The Rock's terms. Like, I guarantee the question has been asked. Absolutely guarantee the question has already been asked. And
it'd be mad not to.
yeah, and it'll be all down to him, not on them. The other way around. So I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4 rather than a 3. No, a 3. A 3. I'm gonna give it a 3. A 3. A 3's right. A 3's right. I gave it a 3 to start with. So
I'll take 3s.
Yeah, I mean that's not so bad. Like that's not a bad one. Do you want to everyone in the comments want to let us know what you thought of our regular predictions? But also I'm going to run through one of my honourables. In fact, because Pete mentioned one for his predictions, so he said that Edge is going to retire. One of my honourables I had written down was that there was going to be, and it was too specific, which is why I've not done it. There was going to be a minimum of 3 retirements this year out of. I know it was far too precise. Edge, AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, Sheamus, and Natalya. So out of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 of them were going to retire this year.
I've had a big each on our list
in the next year. Yeah, but I remember I made I did my things like 4 weeks ago. So
yeah.
But yeah, that was it. Edge, AJ, Rey, Randy, Sheamus, Natalya. Well, I've put in quotations retirements. So at that point, as what we think is retirement, you know, they like the comeback and fucking, can't really say. No, they might come back. That was one of my honourables. Did you want me
I mean, that's a fair one.
Do you want me to run through all my honourables?
Yeah, I've got 3 that I'll run through.
We'll do one each. Go on, Pete.
Okay. I think women's division is going to end up on one show. I said this. I think they're going to combine it down and just.
You actually think that's going to happen?
I think it's got to happen. I think it's got to happen. I think the women's division is lacking big time, and to get people interested, combine it, have some decent storylines running for once.
Because I know we've spoke about this on the podcast, and I probably should have brought it up on the podcast, but I've been thinking about that. And the big downside to doing that is then that show has crap viewer numbers because nobody wants to watch the women's.
No, I wouldn't, because I would stick it on a Raw that still does.
But if you stick it on Raw, you've still got the same time as SmackDown.
Yeah, for men's wrestling and that women's show. Not even a women's show, just women's matches.
Then they've got a solid period of time on one show that the fans tune out for.
But no,
it would still get more eyes on.
Not necessarily.
The networks would argue with each other to go, well, we don't want the women's division. We don't want the women's division.
I think it would get more eyes on them
not necessarily because you've
got better storylines happening of it straight away.
Because you're splitting the rosters, the women's rosters, it makes the titles and the divisions more diluted. You put them in, they're a lot more concentrated. You get a lot more better names, which in turn should also help the women's tags as well because you've got a lot more together competing there.
Yeah,
I get the logic.
And
I'll stick up
you can actually do a lot more with it because you've got. That's the problem with the tags, the women's tags, because they're so stretched thin already. There isn't place for people to have tags. They either can't do both, or very rarely they can't do both. So by sticking them all in one, where it's like, suddenly it's like you're not going to be wrestling in a singles run this for the next couple of months, nor are you. Okay, we've actually got a semi-decent. We can actually make some semi-decent tag teams here with actual, with actual storylines being built.
And not only that, we'll give you a decent storyline, we'll relax you a bit, and when that's done, instead of it getting too boring and using you for every storyline going, bring you back out and throw you back in.
Yeah, I think it just make all of them a lot more relevant.
I think it would.
So that'd be my opinion. Nice honourable, Pete, but it's unlikely. So yeah, I get why it's honourable. Link.
My first honourable is, and I don't know what the facts are on this, to be honest, which is why I didn't use it because I wasn't.
Okay.
I'm not clued up enough, but I think Rhea's going to become the longest women's champ in recent history.
Okay.
Who had that recently?
Bianca. Got it.
But yeah, she's the longest reigning champ of the modern era.
I mean,
the reason I didn't go with this is because I don't actually know if it's possible, because I don't know how long Bianca held it for, and I think it was over a year, and I don't know if Rhea will have held it long enough by SummerSlam next year to use it. For
For it to be next year, yeah, no, true. Actually, that would make a big difference, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Go on, I've got another one. This is what I thought about, and I said about tag teams that we needed DIY back for the men's, but also we need something for the women's. Now, both of these are taking breaks from what I've gathered and what I can see, but I'd like to see the Iconics make a return. They are taking a
I'd
break
love
from
to see the
wrestling.
Iconics back.
That was
Yeah,
one of my
they-
honourables, and I even put in brackets, maybe even do something with Emma. Bring the Australians out. It could be all right.
Well, like, build a little stable with them or something.
Yeah, just their own little Aussies little stable.
Yeah.
Rather than like Emma managing or something as well on top of like just an extra thing there, just to build them back up
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, I wouldn't have hated that.
Like that was one of my honourables. It was just one that popped up. Like something that the women's division really needs. Really
I don't
needs.
see it happening.
No,
but
I don't think I
would
do.
like to see-
But that's why it's an honourable.
Yeah.
What else did you have, Pete?
I had one. Roman's still to hold the world title till Mania. I think he's going to hold
Ooh.
it until Mania still, and then it will come to an end.
Wow. So you're saying, yeah, wow.
It's got to be a big show for him to lose his title, so I think maybe it's probably the safe bet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I went with a cop-out with my last one.
Yeah, it's an honourable, so it doesn't matter
why
so
I
much.
didn't use it, which is why I didn't use it,
Yeah.
was Roman will lose his title.
I think he'll hold it until Mania. Then no matter what, he's cemented in history books. No matter what.
What's the next record that he's after? Because the next one's Hogan, isn't it?
Hogan, has it been beaten yet? I know Hogan was very, very close.
Because he's like the fourth longest champion of all time now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he
Imagine if they just go for it and just make him the longest reigning champion of all time.
It won't happen.
It'd be mental if he did, but
Are they going to give it a days? Yeah, longest reigning champions of all time. It is. No, it's just giving that belt. That's not Roman's one.
Oh, Rhea could do it. By the way, Link. So
She could,
she needs
okay.
she needs 420, and she's on 127 for the longest streak.
so 420 would land us at.
Don't know. We'd be about Mania time.
Yeah.
About Mania time, I think. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a bad one.
Which actually, yeah.
Assuming if
I
that's
could see
what,
that happening.
assuming I've got that right with my very quick search.
I can't find it at the minute for Roman's. Who will take over?
But yeah, no, I think Raymond is gonna get dethroned this year, if I'm being honest. And I have got as an honourable Jay being that person. He's one of my other honourables. And I had Imperium will also become tag team champions as my final honourable.
I can live with that.
Yeah.
I can live with that.
Do you have anything else, Pete?
Yeah, I've got one more, and I
you
think
did.
you're going to see a new NXT champion within the next year of Brian Pillman Jr.
Oh God.
I think he's coming out. He's coming over anyway from AEW, and I think he'll have a run of NXT champion. And they might even reference where he's come from and do the whole Cody. It was what it was like over there. This is the better company. They've mentioned AEW before, and Brian Pillman Jr. is a big name for them. I think he'll be NXT champion.
I'm just saying, watch Pete's honourables be better than his main ones again next year.
Yeah.
I assume you didn't have any more, Link. No. Perfect.
I was struggling to call it 5.
No, that's all right. But everyone that has got this far in the video, obviously we say it again. Make sure you let us know what you think of our predictions. We'll see you in a year's time, I suppose, for this. And
What for our next video?
hi, probably. hi, future Dan, Lincoln, Pete. Hi. Also, fuck you.
Your predictions are shit.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. But yeah, please leave a like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one.
Yeah.
Like, remember you won last year, though. So.
Yeah, linked it.
Peace.
We'll be right back.